Okay, take two. Um, we're going to talk about something very obscure, I guess, and a friend of mine mentioned it to me, and I just kind of needed to look into it more because I don't understand a lot of the politics behind it and stuff like that, so I can't really give an accurate description besides of my own experiences, and that's often not enough to see the whole situation. So, my question is martyrdom viewable as altruistic suicide? Are they similar? Can you put them in the same category? Now, there's issues to look at here, and everything that I found has been pretty much off Wikipedia and sites like that. So, none of this is my own, stuff. Does the act have to have its intended consequences, the reason why you're doing it, or is the intent of just doing it sufficient enough? Does the martyr have to be thinking rationally? Do they have to be in the right state of mind? Which is kind of an important question too. In my opinion, it's critical, I guess I would say. You can't have somebody who's unstable is gonna make this decision and not be able to turn back after because they're already dead, I guess. So that's kind of my look on that. Just putting that out there. Is execution by state viewable as altruistic suicide? I don't think so. I think that's murder. What is altruistic suicide? This was my main what the hell? Sacrificing your own life to save or benefit other people. For the good of a collective group of people, or to preserve the honor and traditions in a society. In rituals for altruistic suicide, it's not seen as a tragic death in most people's eyes. It's not a huge deal. It's almost honorable in some ways. But I mean, people just don't see it as tragic. Japanese samurai intentionally end their life performing seppuku to keep their honor intact and avoid disgrace. That's one example of people who have committed altruistic suicide, or do commit it. Some people perceive self-immolation as a worthy suicide. But concerning, when it concerns emergencies, it's different, especially in our Western society. It's not often thought of or mentioned as suicide as much as it is heroism. So that's a big thing in our society too, is self-sacrifice equals heroism, at least on some form. This exists in times of emergency and is considered a tragic death. So this is part of the altruistic suicide part that is considered tragic. And people who experience these types of deaths, they include firefighters, police officers, undercover people, soldiers, agents, and they're at increased risk of situations that put them on a path to have this opportunity that they can take altruistic suicide, and it's seen as tragic, because the firefighter saving someone's life, they inhaled too much smoke or something like that, So that was pretty interesting to see and read about because it gives you a different perspective. It's only an emergency measure to do an unplanned self-sacrifice, willing yet unintentional end to a person's life. So that is why it's seen as tragic. If you're looking for altruism in our pop culture or in movies, Children of the Corn by Stephen King. Definitely some altruism there with the children sacrificing themselves at the age of like 18 for reasons, you know. And Sonic Adventure 2, I have not seen it. And The Giver by Lois Lowry, we had to read that one in school. Very, very, very good book. So, yeah, those are all great examples. Now, the second thing we're going to be looking at here, since our question is martyrdom viewable as altruistic suicide, is what is martyrdom? And if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, I'm sorry. Now, this one is an interesting question. I hate those things. So martyrdom, this term was originally applied to those who suffered for their religious beliefs, and it has also come to be used for connection with people killed for a political cause. So this is a lot more political, it weighs a lot heavier in the government world. A martyr is someone who suffers prosecution and death for their choices in renouncing, refusing to renounce, advocating, refusing to advocate a belief or a cause as is insisted by an external party. So the martyrs are viewed as being holy. They are looked upon as holy people, and as such are largely respected by their followers. They become symbols of direct, adept, and exceptional leadership and heroism in the face of difficult situations and consequences. Stereotypical martyrdoms in English, general outline of like common features. Like this is what we normally see them as. Number one is the hero. This is a person of renown who is devoted to a cause that is believed by themselves or others to be admirable. Opposition. This person is a person who opposes a cause, and this cause is normally got two sides to it, and both of them are pretty big. They could be violent. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory. Foreseeable risk. This hero can foresee action by opponents to harm him or her because of the commitment that they have to this cause. Number 4, the courage and commitment. This person continues despite knowing the risk they are taking due to their commitment to that cause. Number 5 is death. The opponent kills the person because of their commitment to the cause. So you just got murdered because you loved Legos or something. Audience response. The hero's death is celebrated and commemorated. People may label this hero explicitly as a martyr. Like, that's what they did in their life, you know. Others, however, in turn may be inspired to pursue the same cause. And some examples of martyrs you can find are Maximilian Kolbe, OFM, and Saint Agnes of Rome. Okay, so that'll give you some shit to think about for a minute. And take a look at the differences, similarities. I'm going to post a different video in a little bit. Hopefully shorter, of what I think. And have a good day. Thanks for watching.